Hello and welcome to SUTV Live. 7 games into the season and the Blades have been ruthless at home, cutting down all before them. On the road though, it's been a different story. Still to register a first away win of the campaign, today they travel to Hull. The Tigers themselves looking to bounce back from Tuesday's 3-1 defeat at QPR. But top spot is at stake for the Blades as they look to reclaim it from Norwich City. All of the action can be seen right here with us on SUTV Live. Go to the website sufc.co.uk for all of the details. Well, a very good afternoon. Welcome inside our studio here in Bramall Lane. Quiet, as you can see behind us, a little over 60 miles down the road on the east coast, over at Hull. The Blades are on the road looking to claim their first away win of the season. Alongside me for the ride in the studio, I'm delighted to welcome our two guests, Mark Duffy and Chris Morgan. Afternoon, gents.
Afternoon, Rich.
Morgs, welcome back on set here, and I imagine from a distance you've been watching in some admiration this Blades team.
Yeah, been a great start to the season. I was lucky enough to do the Luton game last week, was it? Time skipped on.
A lot of games going in a short space of time this season, Morgs.
Yeah, tough away fixture, and on the night, real good point. So I think more of the same today. I think obviously Hull won 3 out of 3 at home, so it'll be a test for us.
Yeah, absolutely, Mark. You were here alongside me during the midweek game. A demolition job done on Reading.
Yeah, it was a fantastic game. You know, we started on the front foot and we dominated from the first to the last whistle. And if we can keep those standards anywhere near that, I think we'll be in for a good season.
Well, certainly, let's hope so. 7 games into the season, all played in the month of August. We're already on into September. You guys have both played in the Championship. You know all about the hectic schedule. When you're winning games, though, Chris, does that play a part at all, or do you just want the next one to come?
I think it's the start of the season. You've got so many games, and I think from a player's point of view, I'm sure Duffs will agree with me. I think when you've got them games, you just look forward to them because it's literally you play, you recover, you're getting ready again. You know, sometimes when you've got that Saturday to Saturday, it's nice to have that little bit of a break, a few days. But I think start of the season, I think you just get into a little bit of momentum and you just get, it's like you get programmed in your head. You know, you've got the fixture list and it's like, right, ticked off, on to the next one. It is play, recover, recover. Hey, don't get me wrong, it's tough, you know, and it's demanding, but I think players like it when it's like that.
Yeah, Mark, if you're winning games, then all those excuses we often hear, we could do with rest, we don't have time to recover, they all seem to miraculously go out the window, don't they?
That's it. That's exactly football. You know, when you're winning games, you're looking forward to that game. The next game's coming and you're excited to play it. You don't really feel the aches and pains because obviously the victories mask that over. It's sort of when you lose and you see people limping a little bit more and stuff. But especially early on in the season, you know, when you start well, everyone's just chomping at the bit really to that next game, and you know that's what the lads will be like now.
You were never one to limp around, were you?
No, definitely not me. No. I look forward to the games, but depending who kicked me.
Morgs?
No, never. No. Couldn't get near him.
We all got very excited, rightfully so, on Tuesday night when another league-leading team came here to the Lane and got knocked off in comprehensive fashion. That put the Blades top of the pile for a few days. Norwich's win yesterday has changed that around. Is it too early? Surely it is, isn't it, to be getting excited about being top of the league just yet?
Well, we spoke about it the other day. I think, you know, you can only take each game as it comes. It's very important to start the season well. As we know from last year, we didn't start particularly well at all, and it cost us in the end. You know, this year we've started really well, but all the staff and everyone will just be saying, look, we just take each game as it comes, go on to the next one. Today's Hull, it's a massive game, and we just attack that game.
Let's take a look at the current form for Sheffield United coming into this game. And barring that opening weekend defeat at Watford, Morgs, it's been pretty impressive stuff. Unbeaten in 6, and those green dots symbolising home games where Sheffield United have just continued where they left off last season at Bramall Lane.
Yeah, dominant. And I'd expect that. I don't know, expect a big word, but at home, you know, with the crowd behind us, I'd expect them results. You know, I think Eki will look and think that the home fixtures are huge, you know, and Middlesbrough away, Luton away, not easy games. You know, so to go away from home, I suppose it's the old average, isn't it? Win your home games and pick whatever you can up away from home. And I'm sure today, big following, always a big following across at Hull. They'll be backing them, and I think it'll be a good game today. Looking forward to it.
Well, let's certainly hope so, but picking up on that point that Morgs has just made, Mark, last season, that was the concern. Certainly in the second half when the Blades were flying high. At home, they were brilliant. Yeah. They struggled quite often to replicate that form on the road. Is it a cause for concern, or am I reading too much into this right now?
Obviously, look, you want to pick points up away from home, and it shows a real strong mentality when you can go away from home and you can pick points up. And I think when we play at home, we just have that momentum sort of thing. We have the crowd behind us. We have that feel-good factor. It's sort of when we go away from home, because we talk about it and other people talk about it, people can be a little bit nervous. It's just about getting that first victory away from home, and I do think then the momentum will pick up.
This will certainly be a good test for the Blades this afternoon, because we'll delve a little bit deeper into Hull City's start to the season a little later in the build-up to today's game. But Morgs, they've won, like Sheffield United have been strong at home, Hull have been strong on their patch.
Yeah, excuse me, won 3 out of 3. So that's what I mean, like going across, you know, the lads are on that bus. They know it's going to be a tough game today. But again, take our form into it. You know, we're going in there, you know, very, very confident. So very confident. And the one thing that we've seen about Hull is they've scored a few goals, but they've also let some in. So I think, and I noticed this morning, I flicked through a few of their goals on Y-Scout, and I've seen that they do concede a lot from set plays and crosses. And our set plays have been really good this year. Really, like you can tell, there's a lot of work done on the training ground. So I think they'll have identified a little bit of a weakness there. Well,
when you look at the height that Sheffield United have got it throughout the team now, with Ollie Mcburney being in good form, Mark, obviously Anel Amahodic has been, well, I was reading this morning, he's got a bet on with his agent about the number of goals he'll score this season. If he wins it, his agent's got to take him out for dinner. He didn't divulge what happens if he doesn't quite hit that target, but it does give the Blades an extra dimension.
Yeah, definitely. Look, and set pieces are a massive part of it, you know, of the game in any league, and with the quality of set piece that we have now, adding into that the size that we have in the team with Anel, Ollie Mcburney, John Egan, you know, it's an unbelievable weapon to have, and just something that we add to it.
We're 7 games into the season, Mark. You've still said Anel.
Yeah, it's hard to get his name out.
So, all right, before there you go.
There
you see, that's one from Mark. Morgs has guaranteed that he'll come out with his surname before we kick off this afternoon. He's just thinking about it right now. Let's look at the games still to come for Sheffield United in the near future. There's an international break coming up at the end of this month, chaps, but 3 games between now and that international break. Rotherham coming up after today, Swansea away, Preston away. There's a gap compared to what we've had in August, but these are 3 important games if you're going to continue that momentum you started out the season with.
Yeah, but again, the next 5 games, 3 of them are at home, and you know, if you look at the Preston game, Preston have kept a lot of clean sheets, but have not really been scoring. You know, and
they're the opposite of Hull, really, aren't they? They're not the entertainers so far this season.
No, they've done all their work pre-season defensive and shutting up shop. But hey, the Rotherham game, I've seen quite a bit of Rotherham this season. That Rotherham game will be a tough one at the weekend. But yeah, you know, it's easy to sit here and say that none of them fixtures really scare you. You know, I'm sure the staff and the lads will look at it different. Sometimes it's a bit cooler for us to look at it, but I don't really see any worries in there. So I think if you get to the end of this month, going into the I nearly said winter break.
We're not quite there.
Yeah. Into the international break, then yeah, we'll be on a good footing.
Let's turn our attention to the transfer window, because that slams shut at 11 p.m. on Thursday night. Good piece of business during the window, isn't it, for Sheffield United? When you're going to love this graphic, by the way. I've got contact lenses in, and you're struggling, so look closely, folks. But you've got 5 names, I guess, including Adam Davies, who was here towards the end of last season. But Paul Heckingbottom has looked to create strength in depth, Mark, and through those acquisitions, that seemingly is what he's done.
Yeah, definitely, and I think, you know, the business that they've done has been really good. You know, Amahodic and a couple of the other midfielders. I really like the look at Doyle. He had a fantastic game the other day. And obviously with the players that they've released or got rid of, they've had to bring quite a few players in. But and they've probably lowered the age, the total age as well. So, you know, I think it's been a good window, and obviously we've kept all of key players as well.
Did you notice there, Morgs, how I slipped in Amahodic again?
Amahodic.
Just under the radar.
Yeah,
there you go.
yeah.
You've got it.
I'm surprised you've not heard the cogs turning in my brain, thinking of how to say it. But no, I think the biggest part of that window was keeping hold of Sander and keeping hold of Illiman as well. You know, because let's face it, I think Illiman slid under the radar a little bit. But I'm sure with how he started this season, there'd have been a lot of clubs looking at him. You know, a different type of player, a goal scorer. You know, so I think the best bit of business in the window that Sheffield United have done is keeping hold of their key players.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you talk about the depth that's aligned with that as well, we can have a look at the players that aren't available for Paul Heckingbottom's side this afternoon. 10 names there, and yet seemingly, Morgs, there's been no drop-off in quality performance. No,
and it just shows you, it just shows you how strong the squad is. You know, again, I'm just looking at that. You could actually piece, you know, a team there. You know, you're looking at what we've got on that screen, you know. So you know, credit, they've built a good squad. They've moved some on, needed to move. Unfortunately, we have, you know, got a few injuries, and some of them, as the season goes on, will be key players. But the lads are in the team, and it's, you know, you've got the shirt, keep playing. So I think it's just, and I'm sure at this stage, you know, we spoke about the games coming quick. There'll be a few patched up. There'll be a few. Are you okay to get? Yeah, go on. You know, and again, like Duff said, if you sat at bottom of the league like we were this time last year, then, you know, some of the lads might be, oh, you know, I'm not quite sure. I'll protect that. Winning team, you want to go out and you want to play. Yeah, absolutely. And I want to pick up on something Morgs mentioned there as well, Mark. Sander Berge, a lot of speculation surrounding his name and possibly leaving this club during the transfer window. If you believe all the rumour and conjecture and speculation, Club Bruges were very interested in him. There were apparently several approaches rebuffed by the club. How much credit should we give them for holding on to Sander Berge? Yeah,
definitely. You know, obviously, you know, Sander Berge's a huge part of that midfield, and with his energy and, you know, his driving power from midfield, he's adding goals to his game, which, you know, he definitely needs to. And he's a massive part of the team, and I think letting him go, you know, for whatever price they were quoted, would have been really difficult to replace, especially, you know, so close to the window ending. As we can see, you know, he is chipping in with goals now and assists. So again, it's a fantastic bit of business to keep hold of him, because it would have been difficult to replace someone like that. Not just goals, but against Reading on Tuesday night, stats people tell us that he completed had 58 passes, completed now 95% of them, Chris. It's that link-up play that sets everybody going, as well as the driving force and being able to weigh in with the odd strike himself. Yeah, he's a quality midfield player, and I think we've seen far much more from him playing in like that advanced role. He is adding goals now. He is getting more assists, but he's a quality player. And I think if you look back at the fee that the club paid for him, it was always going to be difficult for somebody to get in around that fee to pay for a championship player. He was brought in the Premier League, and yes, he's playing well, but for clubs to go and pay them types of fees for championship players, it's big money, you know. And I'm sure Bruges were trying to nick him in many ways, and the club have just said no chance. If you want to buy him, then that's the figure. If you don't get to that figure, he's staying. And I'm sure you know, Paul, Jack and Stuart were sat in that office up at Shirecliffe relieved when 11 p.m. struck. Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure they were as well. A reminder, of course, that you can see full uninterrupted action from the trip to Hull City this afternoon. The details are there at the bottom of your screen, www.sufc.co.uk, for all the information on how to buy your matchday pass for this afternoon's game. Now then, let's turn our attention to the starting 11 to go to Hull City this afternoon. And it is an unchanged starting 11 to the one that handily took care of Reading on Tuesday night. No surprise there, I guess, chaps, especially when you consider the form Ollie Mcburney's shown in the last few weeks, and back-to-back games with scoring goals now, Mark. Yeah, you know, we had Ollie in the studio after, and, you know, he's playing fantastic now. He's getting those goals that we all wanted him to get, and, you know, as we touched on, they're a bit like buses. Once you get one, you know, it starts rolling. But for me, what was great to see, that he was making those positive runs across the box. He got it, his goal came, ran across the front post, and he gambled really, and he got his rewards. when a striker's not in that confident mood, they sort of hang out the back post and they always make that wrong decisions. Whereas now Ollie's just seeing goals and as I say, he's gambling and he got his reward for it. Yeah, and also, Chris, good to see the defence complementing what the team are doing in an attacking sense. Last 2 home games here, clean sheets. The only goal conceded down at Luton 10 days ago.
Yeah, and I think if you look back to last season, Wes and the back 3, the back 5, whichever you want to look at it, and whoever was in that, I think if a team's going to do well in a season, yes, you've got to score goals. Scoring goals wins your games, but it's a lot easier when you're keeping them out at the other end as well. And the lads, John in particular in the middle, marshalling that back 3, they'll pride themselves on keeping clean sheets.
I'm glad you mentioned team formation and how they may line up, because we've got exactly the graphic to show you that right now. No surprise, 3 at the back, and the fluidity they seem to have now from midfield with Ollie Norwood's range to Berger playing right, Ilman and Jai left as well. We talk about fluidity, but that comes with increasing confidence as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And again, just going back to Ollie Mcburney there, I think even when Ollie weren't scoring when he was in the team, the graft he does, and we spoke in the build-up to the Luton game, in terms of how he occupies centre-backs. And that night, he was up against 3 of them. And I think he went across all 3 and made sure that all 3 knew they'd been in a game. And he got his goal. And then I was so pleased the other night when it flicked up that he'd got another one. And that's just what he needs. He's done the graft, and I think you can tell with the way the supporters are with players. I think if the supporters see that somebody's trying and somebody's doing the right thing, they'll stick with them. And the Sheffield United fans have stuck with Ollie. And he's a good striker, and he'll get goals. He just needs to stay fit now. So I think that's the big bit for him. But yeah, going back to that formation, Ilman, Sander, they've got them little positions where they can wander where they want, like Duffy used to do, just pick their positions up between midfield and defenders. Who's going to drop in there and pick them up? Defenders don't want to step out. Midfield players are looking and thinking, well, you get him, and then nobody ends up marking them. They're awkward positions, and they'll be good foils.
You see, Mark, when back in your heyday, you were a real annoyance for somebody like Mark.
Yeah, I used to have to keep checking my shoulders, making sure they weren't coming steaming in to kick me. But no, just exactly what he was talking about there. That is what you're asking of defenders. Yeah. You want them to come out to certain positions. They don't want to come out, so you've got to be quite cute and clever with the position play. And Ilman's brilliant at it, and obviously Sander with his size as well, and his power and pace. Once he gets in those little half pockets, he starts running at defenders. He's very difficult to stop, and the link-up play as well. It's been brilliant to watch, and obviously Tuesday night was fantastic from start to finish.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's hear from the lads then over there in Hull. Just before we went on air, we got a chance to catch up with the club captain, John Egan. Well, John, the month of August is behind us. 7 games into the new season. It's all a bit of a whirlwind right now, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah. The games come thick and fast, so you don't get long to prepare for the next one. But we're just taking it game by game, and we've managed to get off to a good start. So hopefully we can keep it going. Yeah, how pleased are you and the guys with the way you've started the season, and defensively as well? 2 clean sheets in the last 3 must please you in particular. Yeah, we performed strongly, at home especially. So. We want to continue on the form and keep improving, and we want to keep picking up points. Is that something you and the lads have spoken about? Your home form has been so good, but you don't need me to tell you you're looking to get that first road win of the season. No, I think no matter whether it's home or away, we just focus on the next game and try to win it. And we're going to go out today, try to perform well, and try and win the game. And what about Hull City? Because they tend to be entertainers. They score goals and they've conceded a few of late. Yeah, they're a good side. It'll be a tough game. Away from home is always tough, and Hull are a good team. So we're going to have to bring our A game today if we want to do well and get the points. What's the approach then from the off? I think everybody knows the way we play. We don't change. We give 100%, and that's the plan today. And the carrot obviously is potentially reclaiming top spot in the championship tonight. Yeah, listen, the main carrot is 3 points. It's a bit too early to be looking at league tables. We'll just focus on every game as it comes and try to take 3 points every time we go on the pitch. All right, John, thanks for your time. Best of luck. Cheers, mate. Thank you. Cheers.
The thoughts there of John Egan. I'll correct myself, Billy Sharp, you are still the club captain. Eags leads the team out on the pitch today, and he leads a team that are coming fresh into it off the back of a 4-0 thumping of Reading on Tuesday night.
This championship clash is underway. Reading kicking towards the cup. Doyle back to his feet, here he is. Lowe's first time cross is a really good one, and Ollie Mcburney heads Sheffield United in front. Second in as many games on his 100th appearance for United. Ollie Mcburney, what a boost to his confidence on Friday night. He's on the score sheet again. Reflector behind. It's and a terrific finish. Armour Hodic, second goal for the Blades. Met it like a striker, and United are 2-0 up on Reading. Couldn't have hit that any better. Look at the light on his face. Terrible pass though, straight to the red and white jersey. Lowe's going to break here for the Blades. Burgers up with him, here is Sanderberger. Now Njayi. Njayi. Wonderful again. Iliman Njayi. Another goal for the Senegalese international. He's the man in form of the run for the Blades. He's 4 for the season, and United lead by 3-0. Here comes the corner. Keeper stays at home this time. Reading clear. Final 10 minutes of this contest. McAtee. Norwood. McAtee again. Basham, and it goes from Norwood, wonderful cross, There's the fourth, it's that man again, Armour Hodic with his second, wonderful cross from Norwood, United streaking away with this one, 4-0 to the Blades.
Yeah, as Matt Young says, 4-0 to the Blades, it catapulted them into top spot in the championship table on Tuesday night. Norwich have since got a win themselves 24 hours ago, so they're 2 points clear of the Blades going into this afternoon's game, but another victory for Hecky's side will see us go back to the top of the table. But let's hear from the man of the hour at the moment, Anel Armour-Hodic, 2 goals to his name on Tuesday night, and was part of that defence which kept another clean sheet.
It's amazing to be able to contribute with 2 goals for the team. I feel very happy. I've taken big inspiration from Edin Dzeko, so I don't know. It just feels amazing to score and amazing to have a clean sheet and to have 3 points. And the way we played made the atmosphere great. And when you have a great atmosphere, you just enjoy yourself.
So Edin Dzeko is the inspiration. What happened? Why?
I don't know, because I've been watching him as a kid, and he's always been my idol, and he's always been scoring goals. But I'm a defender, so I'm not used to that. But I got to get used to it now when I play here.
Let's be honest, you don't always think you're a defender. You think you're a winger, maybe centre forward next on the list at some stage.
I mean, after today, I think I'm a centre forward.
He's a big hero of yours, is he?
Yeah, of course. I'm lucky to play with him, and he's a great character, very professional and humble guy, which I try to be as well. And it's just amazing to have an idol mentor like that.
A very happy Anel Armour-Hodic. A lot's been said, fellas, about his performances since he joined this club. A lot of superlatives used, but when you're keeping things tight at the back and then you're contributing with goals, as we've mentioned already, from set pieces at the other end, at the moment he's looking like the steal of the transfer window, isn't he, Chris?
I think he's been excellent from what I've seen of him. I saw a lot of him when he was younger, when he was at Nottingham Forest as a young defender, and it was always going to be one of them. You know, was he going to be a centre back? Was he going to be a full back? I think Forest in like the 16s and under 18s even played him as like a sitting midfield player. So it was always going to be one of them where was he best, but he's developed into, I suppose, like an all-round good defender. I think people now, they don't look at centre backs. Centre backs don't have to be 6'4" grizzly bears. You know, like they all want centre backs that can play. You know, he can defend, you know, he can edit, he can play, he can read things, he's happy passing out, and, you know, if he can add goals to his game as well. But no, from what I've seen, he's been really, really good.
Well, and to that end, this is the perfect formation for him, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is really, and I think that's why a lot of clubs are going to a back three, because they can bring lads in who, in many ways, they can develop to sell, because football's a business as well. So they'll bring people in, and it's playing centre back in a 2 is totally different to playing in a 3. And let's not go into all the nitty gritty of why is it, but it is. Anybody that's ever played there, it is totally different. And I think to play on them outsides, as we've seen, over years here, Jack O'Connell and Bash in particular, to get marauding on, and that suits an L as well, to be able to step in with the ball.
So it was a good game for Anel Amahodic on Tuesday night. It was also a good game for a man making his championship full debut, Tommy Doyle. Mark Duffy, I know you were particularly impressed with what we saw from him. Yeah,
definitely. Obviously, for his debut here at the Lane, I thought it was all-round performance. It was really good. He was involved in most of the good stuff that we done. Just really excited about seeing more of him, because as we spoke about, that loan spell that he went out on Cardiff would have done him the world of good. We can see with McAtee, he's still finding his feet a little bit, where Doyle's got that experience, and he showed in this game. He's got class and his quality, and it really showed.
It wasn't just his range of passing, as we're seeing here, the creativity and that side of it, his game. He's able to put his foot in as well, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely, and that's a massive important part of the game. A lot of people forget about that side of the nitty-gritty stuff that you need to be doing, and the dirty side of the game, and everything can't just be to feet and nice. There's times when you do need to put your foot in and really roll your sleeves up, and that is something that he can do as well, so it's brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. But for all of the compliments sent his way and the way of Anel Amahodic as well, perhaps the biggest cheer of the night at Bramall Lane came when Ollie Mcburney powered home his header for the first of the evening. It made it 2 goals in 2 games for the Blades target man. He's had a tough 12 months, and he joined us in the studio immediately after the game and said that period is making this all the sweeter.
It's more satisfying having the lows and the the bad form, the injuries, all them things, and then coming back and almost proving to myself that I still can do it. I feel, like I say, I'm really enjoying playing now. I feel fit, I feel healthy. I was a bit tired today, but I think I'll be let off today. But I feel really good. I feel as well, mentally as well, I feel it's the best that I've been in a long time, and I think that's half the battle. If you're good mentally, you can perform your best stuff.
Well, we were all holding our breath when we saw you stay down for a couple of minutes, but all's good?
Yeah, all good. I just got a little impact and it was on my nerves, so it was a bit tingly, but yeah, it's all good, mate. I'll be fine.
Rest up and go again this weekend.
Yeah, exactly. You know what the championship's like, but it's better when you're winning. The game's coming thick and fast. It's a lot easier to get yourself up to keep going. So enjoy it, and looking forward to Sunday.
A very happy Ollie Mcburney chatting to us in the studio following that win on Tuesday night. And as he said, he is ready, he's good to go, and is in the starting 11 this afternoon. A reminder, we've got little under half an hour to kick off. You can see all the action today, uninterrupted from Hull City, right here on SUTV Live. Just go to the club's website, www.sufc.co.uk, for details of how to purchase your matchday pass. Mark Duffy, Ollie Mcburney, clearly very happy. The club as a whole, though, happy for him. There is a tremendous team spirit and togetherness from what we're seeing at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. We were all in here when Ollie came in and he was smiling ear to ear. Everyone was happy for him to score on them goals, because we've seen him do all the hard work and he has put in the graft, and he just wasn't scoring the goals. And then obviously with that goal, he got another one as well, and then everyone's just really delighted for him. As he touched on, he's had a tough 12 months with not scoring goals and stuff, and it does make you appreciate the good times a little bit more, because football is a ruthless industry, and when you're on those downs, people soon forget about you and stuff like that, but you have got to enjoy the good times, and hopefully Ollie will continue to score those goals, and long may it continue for him.
Yeah, looking at those pictures there following the conclusion of Tuesday's game, you'd expect everyone to be happy, Morgs, but just how important is it that we do seem to have a united ship all pulling in the right direction at a time, as we've touched upon several occasions now, when there's a lot of games coming thick and fast and you don't really have time to breathe between games?
Yeah, and often, when you're watching them players walk around there after the game, you've got the subs who've not got on, you've got the lads who have not made the squad, but everybody's there. So I think, you know, sort of credit to the staff, because that is difficult. You know, when you're picking a team week in, week out, and you're on a roll, and you know, you might make 1 or 2 changes, but in general that team's the same, and it's hard for the lads on the periphery. And again, we've looked back at the amount of lads that are out injured, so once they all start filtering back in as well. So if a team's going to do well in a season, it has to have that camaraderie, that togetherness, you know, because there will be times through this season when things do go against us, you know, and backs are against the wall, and then that's when all that camaraderie comes out. You know, it's always easy to speak within a team and within a squad that are, you know, they're all together, they all get on, they're all pals. Yeah, that's fine when you're winning. When it's tested, when there's a few defeats, then you see that they are pals and they stick together, and then that's when you go away from home and you nick a 1-0 and you get on the bus. And they're the not for people like Duffs who like create, you know, for the lads at the back who just like it boring. You know, like them 1-0, like backs against the wall, scruffy game. It's started snowing away at Preston and difficult places, and we've won 1-0. You know,
Come on, Mark, you loved those games, didn't you?
Well, I got brought on, Reading away, snowy, we were getting beaten, and scored a cracker, so...
There you go.
As you do.
Shut up, Mobs, you don't know what you're on about.
No, but I understand totally what he's on about. It's the togetherness of the whole 20-man squad. It's not going to be the 11 that start week in, week out. It's going to be the whole squad is going to be needed, and that's one thing I always go back to with Wilder and stuff. He used to always make it clear it's not the 11, it's going to be the 20 players, because the team that starts the first game of the season won't be the team come Christmas, and the team at Christmas won't be the team come the end of the season. You have injuries and all these other things, so it is a together group. Yeah,
and you can see that's clearly rubbed off on the style of Paul Heckingbottom as well, can't you, in his attitude towards this season. We are on the road at Hull City this afternoon in the Championship, and there's no let-up in the games as well. They continue to come thick and fast. After today, the Blades are next in action on Saturday, 3 p.m. kick-off for a South Yorkshire derby back here at Bramall Lane. Rotherham United, newly promoted to the Championship, are in town. SUTV Live is on air from 2 p.m. for that one. And from there, it's a trip to Wales. Swansea City, the hosts, on Tuesday, the 13th of September, 7:45 kickoff. SUTV Live is on air from 7 p.m. We have turned the calendar into September, and as I was reminded by family members just this morning, Christmas isn't that far away now. Well, if you need a present, how about this? You are watching SUTV Live, where we have just 25 minutes to go to kick off the Blades at Hull City this afternoon. And a reminder to purchase your matchday pass and see full uninterrupted coverage of this afternoon's game. You can get all the details by going to the club's website. They are sufc.co.uk. Okay, let's delve into the annals of history then, because 12 months ago there was another trip to Hull, and it was a successful away day for the Blades.
Well, here is Gibbs White looking to thread it through to Brewster, who gets a shot away. It's a good block. Brewster wants the corner. First time Sheffield United have got into a scoring position. Flat once more, this time shut down by Smallwood. Gibbs White here. Decent looking ball in. There's a chance, and there's a goal for Billy Sharp. His 300th Sheffield United appearance, and he's on the score sheet. Morgan Gibbs-White, the provider. You can't keep him out of the game. 17 minutes gone, and it's Hull City 0, Sheffield United 1. The trademark burst is from John Fleck. He's still going. Gibbs-White on the edge of the area. Shoots. Decent save low to his left-hand side. United have given it away, and Smallwood will advance this time. He's going to have a go here from a long way out. Richie Smallwood. Gibbs-White now popping up in a different position. Tries to quicken the attack. Brewster invited to shoot, and he does. In goes the corner. Olsen stays at home, and the header is put wide. What a pass that was, and here's Billy Sharp in through on goal. Billy Sharp looking for a second. The referee says penalty. Billy Sharp against Matt Ingram, Sharp steps up, and it's saved to his right by Ingram, a good stop. Picked up by Howrahan. And Dean Whitestone blows a half-time whistle. Goes the corner, Egan! Egan scores for Sheffield United. A run round the back, he got himself half a yard of space, heads it beyond Ingram. Great start to the second half for the Blades. 50 minutes gone. Hull City 0, Sheffield United 2. Honeyman. Forward by Smallwood. Kicks it down nicely by Coyle. Decent hit. Gibbs-White, nice dummy. Morgan Gibbs-White, decent save from Ingram. Davis just having a little look at the referee and a smile. I think just to emphasise the point. In goes the corner. There's a header. A wonderful header it was. It's Egan again for Sheffield United. Across the near post, John Egan, his second of the afternoon. Sheffield United surely home and dry now. We've played an hour. Hull City 0, Sheffield United 3. I think Gibbs-White was already marked, and Wilkes just wanted to get involved here. Hull at the other end, and they've pulled one back here. That's not what Sheffield United wanted. Kuno is Potter the scorer. This is a strong burst from Elder. Chance to cross maybe went there. It's a decent looking ball. Brewster, again, loads of room. Rian Brewster, straight at the keeper. Squadiora looks to set McBurney clear here. Oliver Mcburney, good save by the keeper. McBurney, can he add a bit of gloss to this performance? No, Augustine Whitestone has seen enough. He's blown his whistle. Job done for Sheffield United. They've beaten Hull City here by 3-1.
It was a successful away day for the Blades at Hull last September, and a good day for John Egan as well, scoring 2 as the Blades ran out 3-1 winners. A reminder then of the team news for this afternoon's game at Hull, and it's an unchanged 11 that starts this one. It's the one that started out in midweek in that win over Reading. No surprise there. Any doubts over the fitness of Ollie Mcburney have been cast to one side, and Tommy Doyle starts for the second straight game as well. The one noticeable change on the bench, no Daniel Jebison. We believe he's got a slight illness, so Kieran Gordon comes in to replace him. Like I say, gents, no real surprises. If you're winning, you don't want to change a winning formula.
No, definitely, as you say, the team sort of picking itself at the moment. Obviously the games are coming thick and fast, but as we touched on earlier, you know, everyone who's involved in that team now will just want to be playing, and they'll be looking forward to it. Okay,
let's take a look then at the team news for the host this afternoon. Hull City, who've been very strong at home this season so far through 3 games. They make 3 changes to the side that went down 3-1 against Queen's Park Rangers in midweek. Tufan, Woods and Coyle drop out. Come in rather. Christie and Longman drop to the bench. Cannon isn't included at all. I know you've had a look at this whole team. Morgs, what can you tell us about them? What have you seen?
Well, I think it goes without saying. Oscar Estepinian.
Loving it.
Thank
Good
you.
work.
That's my Colombian twist there. Yeah, I think he's obviously the danger man. You know, seven goals in 7 games. I've had a look through as well. They seem to have tweaked the formation a little bit. They started off a 4-2-3-1. Then last couple of games they've gone to a back 3, back 5 with wing backs. So it'd be interesting to see whether they do that today and try and match us up a little bit. I know they won the last home game as well with that formation. So I think just with the little tweaks they've made, it looks like it could be that formation today.
Let's have a look at their recent form then, because whilst they've made tweaks to the way they start out games, it hasn't necessarily been reflected in results. They've scored goals, Mark, but they have shipped some goals, especially in the last 3 games there.
Yeah, definitely, and that's possibly why they have tweaked the formation. You know, obviously they're conceding goals and stuff, and you know, any successful team needs to be keeping clean sheets, and you know, obviously some of the games there they've shipped, you know, 3 plus goals. And that's something that they definitely have to look at. Against the Blades today, they're going to find it tough. So, you know, we touched on it earlier. We think they might try and match us up and go to a 3 at the back and just go man for man, really. But we'll see soon enough.
Is there a train of thought, Morgs, that if they do try and match things up, that'll suit Sheffield United? Because you've got Ollie Mcburney as the furthest man forward, but we all know the free roles that Sanderberger and Illiman and Jai are given. If you're part of a back 3 and you're being pulled and pushed around the pitch trying to match up against your opponents, that leaves spaces, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think we were talking about our wide two centre-backs. It depends how brave Jacob Greaves and Alfie Jones want to be in terms of stepping in and going engaging at times. Are they going to be brave and stepping on Illiman and stepping on Sander when they are in them positions? If not, if they want to stay as a back three just marking one, then there's going to be space galore. So it will be interesting. I think at home, looking at how many goals they have conceded, yes, they've got results, but they do look as though they do play a lot more open. So I think from our point of view, if anybody ever wants to match you up, what you've got to do is say, well, match us up, but we're better there. And if you've got 6 or 7 of them, or 5 or 6 of them, then it's in your favour for winning the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, Morgs was very pleased with his pronunciation of the star striker for Hull, Oscar Estepinian. So let's have a little bit of a closer look at the way he started, because he has scored 7 goals in 7 games. Came on a free transfer as well this summer from Portuguese side Vitória. Morgs, he looks like a good bit of business early doors.
Yeah, I noticed he had a spell at Barcelona as well. So obviously he's a decent player. And again, I flicked through his goals this morning, and a lot of his goals look like proper centre forwards goals. Do you know, like the tap-in types inside the 6-yard box, where something's gone off the keeper and he's like sort of Johnny on the spot tapping it in. So he does look to be a little bit of an old-fashioned like sniffer type centre forward. But he looks big, he looks strong. So I think we'll have his hands full today with him.
Absolutely, and Hull as a club have spent over 10 million in this summer window, which in the Championship isn't small change, Mark.
No, definitely, and obviously they got rid of Potter. He went to Brentford, obviously a fantastic young player, and they've reinvested that money in different areas of the team. Obviously scoring goals is a huge part of that, and bringing Estepinian in to score those goals, and 7 in 7 is a great return.
7 in 7, and he scored 15 in 28 last season. So as Morgs touched upon,
yeah,
he's got a nose for goal.
Definitely, and regardless of what level you're playing at or what division or whatever, if you can score goals, you can score goals. You come across strikers who just have that knack of being in the right place at the right time. We've got one obviously in Sharpie who's obviously not playing, but he's just always in the right place at the right time, and it looks like they've got something similar in a striker where he just seems to be in the right place at the right time, and he is a player that we will have to look at today and try and keep him under wraps.
A name that might be familiar to Blades fans is Regan Slater, who started all 7 league games for Hull City this season. Mark, he only made 1 appearance when he was here at Sheffield United, but this game will have been circled on his calendar, won't it? It'll mean something to him.
Yeah, definitely. Regs was a young lad when I was here, and he was coming through, and you could see how much the club meant to him, and sometimes he was a little bit too eager to impress, but obviously with time and stuff he will get a lot better. I just think at a stage at Sheffield United, the quality of players that was in front of him, there was no real pathway for him to get the game time that he needed to develop. And the best thing for him was going out and getting that loan and getting more game time. And now he's made that permanent. But as you've just touched on there, he will have circled that game straight away. And he's a tenacious player who loves a tackle. So it wouldn't surprise me if he was, in the thick of things today.
In that sense, much like yourself, Chris.
Yeah, he was. To be fair to Regan, he was always well thought of coming up through the ranks as a young player here. And just unfortunately, sometimes you can get yourself in a position where, particularly when the club's doing well, it was hard for him to break through. So he went and had his loan, made this move to Hull, and sometimes you've got to do that. You've got to go and forage a career for yourself. There's no point staying at Sheffield United and being blocked. But he's a good player. He's if you look at modern day midfield players, he's mobile. He can tackle. He can pass the ball. So fair play to him. And it's nice to see Regan, sort of cracking on and getting a career for himself.
And I know it's still early in the season, but at this stage, it seems to be an opportunity he's taking. No disrespect to Hull City, but perhaps expectations not quite as big as they are here at Sheffield United at the moment. It's one thing to get the opportunity, it's another to grasp it with both hands.
Yeah, definitely, and that comes with experience as well. With him going out on loan, he could have easily stayed here and said, I want to fight for my place and not got the game time, because as a young player, it's all about getting that game time, because you can be coached and trained as much as you want, but it's totally different when you go onto the pitch. So fair play to him going out on loan, getting that game time, and then now he's took that chance and he's now become an established midfielder in the Championship. Whereas if he would have stayed, he possibly would have just been another player who was sitting in the stands or on the bench. And I think another player went there, Tyler Smith, another one who went there, who's done well. Young players, they need to go out and get game times. And it would have been hard for both of them to leave. This is their club. So, you know, I have the utmost respect for both of them.
Well, kick-off in this afternoon's game is a little under 15 minutes away. A reminder, of course, that you can watch full, uninterrupted coverage of the Blades' trip to Hull City this afternoon. To buy your matchday pass, go to the club's website. You can see the details right there at the bottom of your screen, sufc.co.uk. The Blades, of course, still looking for their first road win of this campaign. Do we think that's something that's playing on their minds at the moment?
No, not really. It's still early enough, and the results at home are positive enough to sort of cancel that out. But on the flipper, that they will be wanting to get that first win. You know, it'll be there. You know, and I think every game that they'll be going into, it'll be today. You know, we'll get it. So I don't think there'll be any stress whatsoever in terms of getting it, but they will want it.
It's like you've been in the dressing room, Chris. we caught up with Max Lowe in the build-up to today's game. And like Morgs has just touched upon, he did admit they are aware of it, but it's not a pressing concern just yet.
We saw it as extra motivation. The Reading and Blackburn game, they're top of the table. We know how well we've done at home, and we want to continue that. And then on top of that, perform away as well. Because, like I said, it doesn't matter who we're playing. We feel like if we're all performing and play the way we can, we'll get the 3 points. So we're not scared of playing anyone.
So what's your assessment of Hull City right now? They've made loads of changes to their team from last season, but have started okay this year.
Yeah, they've done very well at home, similar to us. We found out a lot of teams that are playing against us do try and match us up with a back five. I think they might do something similar. So it's just about how we can break teams down, and I feel like we've done it in different ways, different styles of play, different goals. I don't think I've been in a team where we've got that many threats going forward, so it's obviously a nice luxury to have. And we're confident if we play the right way, we will get chances, and we've just got to be clinical.
It's quite the mark of respect, that, isn't it? If a team that usually plays one way shifts to then try and play against Sheffield United.
Yeah, but we always feel like it's about how we play. We're not too worried about opponents. We've got to worry about how we play firstly and try and break them down, play the way we want to play, and everyone knows from afar, watching from a distance, how we like to play, so it's important we continue that.
The thoughts of Max Lowe heading into this afternoon's clash at Hull City, and Mark Duffy. All credit to Max, because a bit like Ollie Mcburney, who we spoke about earlier in the programme, he's come through a tough period. It wasn't an easy opening game this season away at Watford, and yet he's now commanding a place in the starting lineup.
Yeah, definitely, and obviously he had a successful loan out last season. There was talks of him, you know, moving and stuff, and that can play a part in the psychology and how you start the season and stuff. Didn't start the greatest the first game and stuff, but you know, he grew into it, and you know, the last few games he's been really good.
Morgs, what are your thoughts on Max Lowe? Because he spent last season on loan, and there was a stretch there when it looked like his days here might be numbered.
Yeah, I was actually, the day he signed, they signed him and Jayden Bogle together, and I was actually in with Jayden, and just, obviously, you know, when you see players play and you always wonder what they're like, and we sat and had a cup of tea together, and first thing I would say is what a cracking lad he is. Yeah. You know, a real good lad, proper down to earth, wants to do well, and I'm just pleased he's got an opportunity, because when he first came in, obviously there was Ender in front of him, and obviously then Reece Norrington Davis came on the scene, started doing well, and Max had to disappear. He had to go away. But when you go away on loan and end up being part of a squad that gets promotion, sometimes your staff think, he's done well there. You know, are we missing a bit of a trick? So obviously he's come back in pre-season, and he's obviously come back fit and really pushed. And you know, he's reaping the benefits and playing well. You know, and what a cracking ball the other night for Ollie's header.
Yeah, wasn't it? Fine ball in, fine finish from Ollie Mcburney. Kick-off is fast approaching here on SUTV Live, and that means we're going to have to let you go to the commentary position, Mark Duffy, with a big smile on your face, but we're not letting you go without a prediction for today's game.
I'm going for a high-scoring 3-1 Blades.
High-scoring 3-1 Blades will take that entertainment and the 3 points if it comes to fruition. Thanks for the moment. Mark, we'll let you get off to the commentary position now. It's time to hear from the first time today from the manager, Paul Heckingbottom, who was keen to emphasise that the challenge facing them should not be underestimated.
Good home record. I think the owner came out this week speaking about they want it to be the first time they've got 20,000 there since the Premier League days, that type of thing. They've changed the arrangement of the stadium and moving away fans out from behind the goal to try and generate a better atmosphere. And so we're hoping, we're hoping we get that atmosphere. We've been, as away days so far, we've been at real, hostile's not the right word, but real, it's been fervent, it's been frenzied. The fans of the home support have, tried to get behind the team for them to raise the game against us, and there've been good atmospheres each of the three so far, so it looks like this is going to be another one.
Sheffield United have done pretty well away from home at the start of this season, haven't they? What do you put that down to?
Yeah, we've been all right. We want the wins, of course. Like I said, we're bothered about the performances. We've had some tough games, home and away, whether that's the approach of the other team making it tough, the standings in the league. But we're prepared. We think that's going to be the story of this season, so I don't think it's going to be a one-off. We just want to be strong. We want us performance levels to be at a certain level to make us perform consistently, because I think that's going to be the biggest key this season in this league. The margins are so fine. You're looking at the results every week and they're up and down. If we can stay at the consistently or more often than not getting those points in each and every game, it's going to give us a great chance, and to do that we need to try and be consistent with how we perform, and that's us focus all the time.
The manager, Paul Heckingbottom, giving us his thoughts ahead of today's trip to Hull. And a reminder that the game itself is now just 7 minutes away from kick-off here on SUTV Live. To watch full, uninterrupted coverage of the clash at Hull City, you can buy your match pass by going to the club website. The details are right there at the bottom of your screen, www.sufc.co.uk, and you'll find all the information to purchase your match day pass that you need. Interestingly, Chris Morgan's still with me in the studio. We've said earlier it's not something weighing on anybody's mind just yet, but when Paul Heckingbottom was asked about the club's away form, and it's put to him they've made a decent start, he said, yeah, but we want that win.
Yeah, and it goes back to what we were just saying in terms of there'll not be a lot of stress about it, but they want it, they want to get it, and then once you've got it, that's it. You know, it's out of the way, because the longer that goes, the more people talk about it. It's just, you know, it's nature, human nature. People, are Sheffield United going to struggle away from home? Well, no. We've gone to Hull City today, and we've nailed that away win. So now we crack on. But yeah, just interesting there, looking at the goals. I know, change of management, change of players. But again, set players. I do feel as though set players are going to be big for us today.
How much of a problem are Sheffield United if you're an opponent preparing for them at the moment? Because with the likes of Illiman and Jai, Ollie Mcburney up front, but then you see the threat from set pieces, they are a danger in every aspect of the pitch right now.
Yeah, I think so. Like wing backs getting forward. The midfield players. Ollie Norwood's range of passing. Ollie Norwood's set plays. Ollie Mcburney's now. As a defender. Before the Luton game, you think, we've got Sheffield United coming up. Ollie Mcburney's not scored a goal. I'll get into him nice and tight early doors. But all of a sudden now you're on the back foot a little bit, thinking, Ollie Mcburney 2-in-2. I've got to be a little bit more on my guard. So I think all over the pitch, I think we can create them problems.
And of course, for Hecky, he's got the luxury now of having a strong bench. And if he's not liking the way things are going, he can change it up. Yeah,
he can. Even you look at people like McAtee. Duffy was saying about them first loans. First loans are difficult because lads come out of 21s, 23s, whichever you want to call it. They've gone back to 21s, but they come out of that style of football, and it's a total difference to what you're going to get out there or at Hull today. But players like James McAtee can play and they can unlock doors. So Rida Kadra. Rida started the other night, obviously being brought back out after a bit of an injury. But again, just adding to the threats that we've got.
We are looking at live pictures from Hull City's MKM Stadium. A reminder, of course, if the Blades can chalk up that first road win of the season this afternoon, it will catapult them back to the top of the Championship table. It's not crucial at this point of the season, Morgs, but it's a nice incentive.
Oh, it's brilliant. Let's roll the clock back. to this time last year, you know, and the league table was important then when everybody was grumbling. So the league table is important, you know, and if you go back to the top of the league today, then everybody gets on that bus really, really happy. So yeah, it's not a huge focus, but yeah, of course it's important.
It sends a message out to the rest of the championship, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. You know, finished last season, you know, strong in the playoff, and you know, started this season well.
Okay, prediction time. We heard from Mark Duffy just a few moments ago. He said 3-1, comfortable away day. Looking forward to it. Are you so confident?
Yeah, I am confident. Not as many goals. I'm going to go for 2-1 United.
And it looks like a good crowd's on hand as well, which players, you know this from experience, you relish playing in front of a big crowd.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, I think they've had the rugby on there yesterday. I think the pitch looks immaculate and just like a carpet to go out and play on. You know, and I think everybody's excited. And again, I spoke before the game. Huge following always is at Hull. And over the years, we've had some good results there.
Do you miss playing?
Yeah, definitely. How can you not?
At this stage of the season, maybe. How about January time?
Yeah, do you know what? Without being rude, Rich, I'd rather be walking out of that tunnel than sat here with you today. And I love you to bits, but I would rather be doing that. So yeah, I do miss playing.
Okay, me and Morgs are going to have a quiet chat off air now. The players are about to make their way onto the pitch. Morgs has predicted 2-1 to the Blades. Mark Duffy said 3-1. I'm going to go for a 2-0 Blades win as well. It's a clean sweep here in the studio. Can Paul Heckingbottom, Sheffield United, deliver on the pitch? Let's take you over to the commentary team to find out. In a moment, you will hear once again from Mark Duffy. But first of all, your match day commentator, Matt Young.
Thank you, Richard. The Blades are back on the road and seeking a first away maximum of the new campaign as Paul Heckingbottom's side arrive here at the MKN Arena. Draws on the last two away outings, well, they've been credible, but United are keen to transfer single points into wins as they look to maintain what has been a fine start to the Championship campaign. Hull yet to lose here this season. They've bolstered their ranks on deadline day, setting up an intriguing Sunday showdown here on Humberside. The teams are out. Of course, if you want to watch this game, passes are available. Head to sufc.co.uk for all our broadcast regulations. Mark Duffy joins me in the commentary booth. Sounds like a great atmosphere out there. Over 20,000 expected in the stadium this afternoon.